to bring you the Game 5 that we've all been looking forward to. Onset and Hodzik going to talk you through the action. And Hodzik, we've got 4 teams, I would say, that are really in contention to become a champion. You've got NRG, top of the leaderboard at the moment, 55 points. TSM just in behind on 50. Solar Fide with the big performance we've just seen on 40 points. And Noble White just behind them on 39. Our big question coming into this is we feel like Circle could potentially have a big influence on who potentially comes out on top here, as we do see the players now dropping into World's Edge for our game number 5.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Circle's determined so much in this game. You saw the first game that NRG won, Tree Circle. NRG lands Tree, as far as I remember. I know Franks really likes that spot. You saw the thermal station Circle. I believe Aim Assist lands there, and they were second on that one. So Circle certainly determines a lot. If we see a northbound Circle, things will get really interesting. TSM, for those that don't know, they drop Fragment East. So it would be interesting to see both these teams so close to each other have to work for their rotation and see how that plays out. And as we see the Circle, oh man,
wow,
it's a Tree Circle. Potentially a Tree, maybe a South Thermal Circle. So this one could potentially be handed. It's NRG's game to throw, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, big early success here for NRG. Something they couldn't control, but something that they will take every single day of the week. You saw that Pathfinder beacon. We saw that second circle over the top of Tree and, of course, thermal station. So the fact that they've got that early rotation and they essentially can just set up and be the first team into a prime position is huge for them at the top of the leaderboards here. For TSM, they're going to be making an early rotation from Fragment East, like you mentioned, but one team that's also going to be following them in is Solar Fide, who are currently in 3rd place. So I'll be interested to see if we do see maybe a clash between TSM and Solar Fide here, potentially on the rotation.
Yeah, well, it would be interesting to see, but you know TSM is not taking any fight right now. They're not taking chances. They typically don't take fights on their rotations, so I would be very surprised if they took one here. But, I mean, Soul Fide has been landing next to them for, like, the last 3 tournaments. They don't typically run into each other. And that's actually, ironically, that is, like, the mark of, in my opinion, some really, like, just smart teams. I'll never understand why, you know, there's some teams that will drop next to each other, and they feel the need to, like, poke at each other and kill each other. It's really, the smart teams can be identified by the ones that value rotating more than anything, more than just one little measly fight. So the fact that they drop right next to each other and they almost never run into each other, definitely a big testament to how much those teams value positioning.
Yeah, I think it's value in positioning, but also maybe just a bit of respect to each other as well. You know, if there's 2 teams that probably don't want to fight against each other, it's Solar Fide and TSM, because you know that's going to be an extremely tough fight for them to take. But you can see complexity here up on top of the building, and they're got a little bit to say about the team underneath them as well. They're trying to get aggressive, and Complexity currently set down in 6th place on 32 points. And we always say that if there's going to be a team who can put in a monster bomb performance, it would be Complexity, but maybe a little bit too much for them to do here. But we are seeing the push in now, and it is going to be a clean wipe there. So Complexity early on here with some KP on the board, and that's the kind of momentum they may need to push them through. But look at this, TSM on that rotation, out early down to 1 HP, but they have managed to at least restabilize a little bit. But looking across the inventory of these teams at the moment, you've got white armors, you've got the Evo shield there on reps as well, a blue armor now onto Albralele, I think he's just found. So that's going to be at least something to work with, but scary moments there for TSM, and they've only managed to move up to this little building outside of Sorting Factory.
Absolutely. And TSM, I mean, you know, you might be looking at this and thinking, you know, wow, their armor situation isn't great, which obviously it's not. But if there's anything that, if you've ever studied any of TSM's gameplay, you'll know that TSM is very good at playing. One of the reasons they're so successful is they are really one of the best teams at playing with little to no loot. Before in Season 3, if you remember where Harvester is now, used to be Field Depot, and that's where TSM landed. And that was some of the worst loot in the game, but they still made it work. They still played really high and won tournaments at Fuel Depot. So they are very experienced at playing with little to nothing. So don't count them out just because you see, oh man, they got bad armors. Might be a rough one for them. They're just really smart at picking their fights and getting into the right spot. So not too worried about seeing them do poorly.
Yeah, it goes back even further than that. You take ourselves back to King's Canyon, dropping Cage, you know, not the highest of loot tables there either, and they did so much work with those limited resources, shall we say. But early fights going on here right across the board. We're seeing a fight here over in Lava City, and it's going to be Rambo who's definitely desperately trying to get away, I should say. Prodigy Ace is taking down some no shields as well, so he's going to have to pop this bat here, and plenty of action going down at the start of game number 5. But we should mention as well, not really action that is going to potentially affect the teams that are currently at the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, absolutely. And you see a lot of these edge fights taking, so I don't know if you caught it, but there's actually 3 teams fighting here. Rogue's team here, I'm not sure which team, I didn't catch the names, which team they were chasing, but then as they were chasing them, Rogue, the NRG player, Rogue, the team, got shot in the back by Sentinels, and I think that's Sentinels kind of sending on them right now. It is, indeed. So, actually, a lot of teams here look to see maybe the other team coming back to third party this as Joey Blackout goes down, and there it is.
They wiped out. Now we're on board with Liquid as they're moving over towards that thermal station, the 2 buildings just outside of it on the height of this ridge here, and this is such a vital area to try and hold down. Looks like Team Liquid are trying to get aggressive onto this building. They realize how vital that is, and it's Rogue who have lost dropped here in this fight. He's been finished as well, but they have managed to recover the banner from him, and it looks like Sweet now definitely trying to portal out and just get his teammates sniped down into a position maybe where they can re-solidify themselves, maybe look for a res to get, of course, drop back into the game and get up to a full complement of players.
Absolutely, and these players respect each other to know that, you know, they aren't going to be 2v3ing another top team. So Rogue, having gotten the banner, they know their only play is to get out and get the res up on their teammate. Liquid not opting to chase that; they prefer to they're preferring to have a better position on to make sure they lock down this choke. This is a very strong and important choke to hold because it basically. You can go, the circle can shift to south thermal, those like 2 little buildings on the way southern end of thermal, or it's going to shift all the way to tree. So holding that choke plays a lot of, it controls a lot of the tempo of the game and gives you options, more importantly, when you know where the circle is going to end. You're not stuck on one end or the other. So holding that choke, it's a little bit difficult with the terrain and how big it is, but if you can do it, it will pay dividends for you.
Well, I'm keeping my eyes on complexity in this game because although they are fairly far behind that first place position as far as points on the board is concerned, they are picking up a heck of a lot of KP early on in this game. I think that's their second squad wipe that we've seen so far. That's already 6 points to them, but looking at the kill feed again, and Xenox now and Noct getting very interested with TSM here, and that could be TSM in all sorts of problems. Not sure if Reps has managed to get away in all of that, or it looks like that is TSM out, like you say, and yeah, TSM will not be winning this tournament. NRG now in a fantastic position as they now move up as one of the last 14 squads left.
You know, NRG was looking at that kill feed the entire time, and they're now the conversation in NRG's comms right now is shifting to we cannot take unnecessary risks. All we have to do is just play smart. Don't even force a fight. You don't have to. And it's interesting how like VR works like that. You know, so there's a lot of things, a lot of variables that can change while you're in the game, and that change the way you play. So they're just going to be look for them to be just playing super aggressive or super passive. Sorry, not take any big aggressive mistakes, and just try to win the tournament here.
And not only is that good news, excuse me, for NRG, that's also great news for Solifide, who are watching at the moment, who are going to pick up a kill here on Bowser as he goes down, thanks to the hands of the Wingman and Pride. They're in third place at the moment. They were 15 points behind NRG at the start of this game. So with TSM taking themselves out of the equation in this Game 5, it means that Solifide are now the closest competitors to NRG as far as taking their throne.
Something to just note right here, Blitz and Noble just took out Frex completely. So NRG, I guess they got caught on their rotation here. They know it's going to end, or they think it's going to end here in the tree. NRG got caught out on that. Frex completely down. If you see, you can see his banner there. It's underneath the main part of tree. NRG or Nathan and Rock are nowhere near it. So I doubt they'll be making a play for it. And what's really tough about losing your Watson, especially in a situation like this, is a lot of teams are going to look to play this house. If you don't have a Watson, one of the things that's inherently missing on your team is showing the presence that you are in that building. You know, anytime teams are looking to rotate, they look for Watson fences and for presence that, hey, a Watson is in this building, this isn't free. So with that, having no Watson to show presence like that, it could end up with one team just accidentally pushing NRG and forcing a fight 2v3 because they just didn't know they were in there, or a team calling, hey, this team doesn't have a Watson, this is probably NRG because Frex died, let's push them. So of all players to die, it's really, really unfortunate that it's Frex.
Super nervy moments then for NRG fans who are watching at the moment. I'm sure they're there desperately hoping the last two players alive can pull out something special as far as their tournament is concerned and at least scrape into those placements and make sure they keep that point advantage to take home at the championship. We're going to see Sentinels moving in now and picking up more KP, and that's going to be onto the McCarthy brothers, and they will be going down. Now we're going to see them moving once again towards the ring now, playing the edge quite comfortably at the moment. They've got a fair few KP to their name as well, so lots of aggression being shown in this game by different various teams, and it seems like the aggressive teams at the moment are the ones who are having the success.
Right, I mean, this is when the wacky stuff starts to happen. The teams need kill points. Crust taking a lot of damage here. Seems like Xenox is trying to make the call to get the heck out. And then you see Complexity are the aggressors here.
Wade does come in as well. That's going to down Crust, and now you're going to see Peach with the Gibby shield up and trying desperately to get away. But the problem is, the one team you're trying to get away from is Complexity, and a big, massive shot there is going to take down Peach, and now Xenox is going to be the last man alive for Sentinels, desperately trying to get away. The zone's closing in on him. Manages to get an armor swap to keep himself alive for just a few extra moments. And it looks like Complexity, no surprise, trying to chase him down because they see KP on the board, and that is what they need to make up this gap at the top.
Yeah, I mean, with TSM not being in it, that means they're pretty much stuck, I believe, at 50 points. It's not above Complexity to put up a 30-point game. Complexity can still come back, and even though they have the very W key playstyle, they know a lot of these teams that don't have points are forcing fights now because they know they need kill points, which is why you see a lot of fighting. It's zone 3. There's plenty of room still in the zone, but you only have 13 squads left. A lot of these teams know they need kill points. Solafide, don't be surprised if Solafide gets aggressive because they know that TSM is down. They know that that Frex is down on NRG. But they also know that they need points. So don't be surprised to see Solafide maybe taking some risks here. I believe they were 10 points behind TSM coming into this game. So it's really interesting as you get into the later stages of the tournament, how much the game and decision-making is influenced by just what happens in the kill feed. So it's very big events that have happened here. I'm curious to see how this all plays out.
And all the gunshots that are ringing out at the moment across World's Edge, they're going to be great news for NRG as well because they still haven't been contested in that building there right at the south side of the tree. So for every team that drops, that's a step closer to NRG winning this tournament potentially as they get into those high placement points. So very interesting developments to occur in the rest of this game number 5 in our final game here of online tournament number 6. Team Liquid still holding down this choke, and you can see exactly why. Still not sure on where that rotation is going to be as they're now pinging some targets to maybe try and pick up some KP themselves.
Absolutely, they know they need a big game as well, and once you secure a really strong choke like this, you know no one's really at your back. That's why you saw them at the Rock. They're kind of scouting around to see if there's any teams, because they are going to get into fights here, and once they get into a fight here, they need to know what teams are around them, and they need to know how much time they have to reset after they force a fight. So they're going to be looking to hold out. You see there's two teams. Obviously, they don't know this, but you see there's two teams right outside the choke here, and there's one team down in the tunnel. So they're going to be looking to hold all these teams out and just choke them out, hopefully picking up some easy kill points, and maybe securing themselves some even better loot.
We should move here.
G7 Scout going to be the perfect weapon for that as well, just harassing all the players that are trying to move in. However, Flanker gets absolutely beamed by some shots coming into him. He's going to be forced to back down here and pop the bat to get up to full armor. The thermite grenade's going to come in as well and back down very, very quickly. There's a portal flashing in front of him as well, so all sorts of action going down. And look at this Complexity. Look at the inventory across the board here for all of these players. Lou, all red Evo shield. Look at Monsoon, purple on him, and Reptile with a full red Evo shield as well. And when you're an aggressive team and you like to push fights, having that extra HP is perfect here for Complexity.
Absolutely.
Speaking of Complexity, looks like they're in a battle at the moment. I want to see how the comms are in this Complexity lineup, see how aggressive they're being, and see what the comms are like as they're trying to execute on these fights.
They're looking?
They're in. I'm going back.
Back up.
I'm just going in. Can we take mid? Or under mid or something? Can you look for it up there?
Yeah, I can definitely look.
TP?
I'm gonna TP right now, okay?
Yep.
Team from the south, Mon, is looking to move in.
Okay.
Just look for a good spot. If it's not good, we can just walk in and play under late. I took TP automatically.
Yeah.
I'm coming.
I think
We
we're
can
fine.
just
here.
take
We're
up
set up,
top.
right?
Can we just take up top?
Yeah, we can. If we need to take
Let's
TP,
do it.
we don't have to play this. We don't have to, because this
We
is
don't have
sort
to,
of
yeah.
shit, bro.
We can always play fucking west.
Start
We're pretty
setting up
safe
fences
here.
and shit. I think we're
I'm
fine.
getting over here. 47 on that guy. 47 perp.
Hey, man, try not to agitate anybody, because the more people who shoot,
yeah.
the more people are gonna want to shoot at
This guy's in
us.
the middle of the open as well.
I'm placing.
I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play under, because I think under's a little safer.
I mean, we could also play on both of these staircases.
There's a team here. They gotta come out. This team, so they're probably gonna try and play under us.
That's fun. We don't hold them. We
Don't
drop
take
on
too
the
much
last
damage.
game.
Yeah.
How are you guys doing on meth? I have 2 cell, 1 bad.
I have 12 here. I dropped your 4 right there.
I dropped you so much. We have a blue armor.
Yo,
shot.
they're bobbing
somebody
up
grab
on
the
us.
bat, somebody
Look at
grab
them
the
fighting right here. Look at them.
Yeah, somebody grab the bat.
Look at them, boys. Look at them. I'll grab the
looking.
bat. They're hard fighting there.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Swerve's in
I'm
sauce.
gonna pop an ult cell to see if I can.
Yo, we might be able to third party this. This is the best part of the game.
Going under. Almost cracked that guy.
I've
cracked
taken
him.
20.
Yep, we just can't lose our spot. Then we have the
I
spot.
don't. Yeah.
Right here,
I
right
don't-
here.
I don't know what the fuck is happening because this
Take
team's
DB
still.
back. Careful. Alright, we're chilling. I want to make sure North doesn't walk up on us. We're good. How many
still
can we put more fences down? Doug?
Yeah, I can.
I'm not shooting at the team on top of the hill. How many shotgun shells do you guys have?
0.
Do you need some?
I have none reserve. Thank you.
That team's not in after this. That team's not in over there.
I hit him 110 on
Yeah,
purple.
there's someone near us. Under us.
they're west. It's good. We just stay up. All we have to do is wait for the teams under us to fight, and then we can drop in third party.
Yep.
Just do not overpeak on the stairs.
I know. I almost knocked one down there.
Okay?
They have shit fucking armor. They have white armor, blue armor.
Yeah, I
And
know.
almost-
If they go down, we're gonna get thirded. Yeah, this team's already looking.
Okay.
This team's not in either, so they have to
Yeah, I
go
know.
somewhere.
I saw a bubble.
I just cracked one.
Bro, give me.
I cracked one too. I cracked one too.
Come back up.
Yeah, I cracked Vivian.
Popping you back. So the Jibby under us is literally 1 health. I hit him for 80 flesh.
They're safe
Where's
over
this
here.
team left?
They're safe.
Oh, they are.
Okay. Under us right here. Hit 150. 1 HP.
We can hear the comms there from Complexity, Hodzik. Lots of calls being made, lots of decisions being made. What stood out for you?
The biggest one, and I'm not surprised, but the one that I thought was really funny was the second they took this spot, Lou was saying, don't agitate teams, and Monsoon's over there calling damage, popping wingman shots across the map. Liquid going down here in a really strong spot as well.
And Complexity are the team who are putting pressure on as well. I see Cross going down. That's going to be Sentinels taken out by Complexity. And RG as well. I've just seen in the feed as well. Zaku's taken down Rocker. So looks like Rogue being taken down as well. So many battles going down. And this might open the door here for Solar Fide potentially to steal
Still
it.
3-man up.
Still alive down here. 3 men up, like you say. And with a little bit of time here just to reset and set up their next move. But Solar Fide have done a great job here of finding themselves into a position where the teams ahead of them have been taken down. So there's a real opportunity here for them to potentially steal away a first place spot here.
Yeah, terrible zone, though. Half of it is in the mountains, so this is going to be really tough for a lot of players. Basically, the game plan for most of these teams will be either A, play for kill points, or B, just stall your life as much as possible. Every millisecond you stall can give you more placement points, because teams are going to be dropping like flies. Half of this next circle is in. Don't be surprised to see only a top 3 situation after this one, so I'm curious to see if they go for kill points or just try to stall as much as possible.
Yeah,
But them
Monsoon's
wasting their
managed to get
bubble
another
right there,
kill
that
in
could
the
be
feed.
really bad.
The bubble, as you say, early. We wasted a little bit. It means they're going to be trapped out in the open for all of these teams who are surrounding them to potentially land some nades and land some shots onto them. But Complexity are the team who are looking to land some massive shots. Monsoon's going to be moving in here. You can see 5 kills to the name of Monsoon. It's only him. Now using that Gibby bubble to try and get out of dodge here, but Complexity are taking damage. Monsoon does get taken down, so now it's just Reptar, the last man alive here. For Complexity has to pop the bat, and looking across the feed as well, it's actually not. And Zach who managed to pick up those kills, and now we're going to see Reptar dropping down. He picks up one. Goes back up top here. There is a Wraith in front of him. Doesn't hit the wingman shot initially. Now there's some connecting. He's just surrounded by players here. He's desperately trying to stay alive, and that will be the end of Complexity's run in our game number 5.
And Solar Fide still standing strong as 3. This could be their game. they could very well be the winners here. I mean, they seem like they have decent kills across their team. All the other teams are fragmented and fighting each other over there. They might actually.
I need shields.
This is almost their game to throw, kind of.
We should go
Four
here.
squads remaining then. You say Solar Fide, the one team who could potentially dethrone NRG, who are out of this game, as we said, currently top of the leaderboard. Solar Fide on 40 points, 15 points behind before this game got underway. Force for the last man alive for this squad as well, desperately using that knockdown shield to try and keep him alive for just a few extra seconds, and it's going to be Silver Fox. Noko up on top of the building as well, and inside here, the other team that we're talking about, Solar Fide now coming under lots of fire themselves, so it's going to be all up to Pride here to be the last man alive for them, to try and rout, to try and pull out something special as the solo in this situation when there's two squads alive.
He's got a little cozy spot here. It's just going to be a matter of praying that nobody looks at him. And most of these teams are typically going to be, at this point, focusing on each other, so he might actually be solid here for a top 2 situation.
And we are going to see the shots now coming in, and it's going to be Arcan who gets the first knock here. Onto Zach. Noko's going to go down as well, and here comes Pride, maybe just waiting for his moment here to strike, try and put some pressure on, but no, there's a Rogue Wasp behind him, and he gets taken down by Nox. The question now is, can he turn a 3rd place into a 2nd place? No, he cannot, and it's going to be Saucer here, top of the building, trying to finish up this fight, manages to hit the wingman shots as well. It's going to be the self-res. All they have to do is finish it off, and they will be your champions here of the final game. But the bigger picture needs to be talked about. We saw NRG and TSM being knocked out pretty early in that game number 5. Have Solar Fide done enough to make up that 15-point differential and really put in a challenge here to become a champion?
Yeah, I'm sure TSM did not get many points. I think they went out like 15th, so that's probably one. NRG, even though they lost Frex, I did see them pick up at least 1 or 2 kills on top of they got to at least like top 10. So they picked up a couple points, and that might be their saving grace. But you saw there at the end, I believe Noct went, he knew that there was just one more left on Solar Fide. I believe he went purposely looking for him because typically when your team is losing a fight like that in a hard 3v3, top 3 situation, the play is typically just find that last rat, kill him off real quick, get the kill point and the placement point for being 2nd, and that's a win in their book as far as they're concerned. So it's going to be really interesting to see, man.
Yeah, HRN, they're the team who won that game number 5, just getting confirmation. Of course, we saw it on our screens. But again, this is the beauty of Battle Royales, and this is the beauty of the format. We don't quite know how those points are going to tally up, who is going to be crowned champion. And that's what we've got to wait for now. As I say, we're waiting for the guys on the desk to break it all down and work it all out. And I need to say, Hodsik, it's been an absolute pleasure to cast alongside you in the booth. I know we've been looking forward to a long time. And from the UK as well, to everyone over in America at the moment, just make sure you stay safe in a difficult time. But for now, we are going to send it back to the analyst desk to find out who is our champion. Best of luck working it out, guys. It's over to you.
Thank you so much, Onset. Hodsec, one hell of a broadcast. We really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. What an amazing finish to a day that has been full of fireworks, Jayla. We see a team that hasn't really been introduced in the same way that some of the other squads have, with the same fireworks today, and that is HRN and Sorcerer and Hill and RKN. Great players, and they finally get the win here. But the story was really about following along with Solar Fide, and could they do it? Did they find enough in their placements to usurp NRG, who started out 15 points ahead of them? And overall, I'm not sure they were able to do it.
It was cool seeing like the last few teams that were left in a circle were actually teams that we hadn't been talking about. Like in the last game, we were like pretty much focusing on NRG and TSM and wondering which one of them would take the win. But I think that Solar Fide did a good job of giving NRG for sure in that last game a run for their money. So I'm excited to see like who actually came out on top.
It's the moment we're waiting for. We're just going to keep you with bated breath for a second, obviously, as we look at some of the final moments of that game, because it really was a circle that could have gone either way for these squads, especially Solar Fide, who got caught here, but they ended up finding some crucial kills towards the end, and of course tried to rat it out, but it was ultimately a couple wingman shots and HRN cleaning up a fantastic score. And that does lead us to our Game 5 results that are coming up very shortly on your screen. We have those available. HRN obviously getting a big win there with 21 points. And those are not easy to come by, Jayla. So even though not necessarily involved in the race for first, strong performance. Got to show some love to HRN. Both, all three of those players have been playing Apex and grinding, and good shout outs to them, obviously grabbing a win there.
Yeah, definitely. Huge shout out to HRN for winning that game. We hadn't seen much from them the previous games, but they came through with the win for their team. So definitely is putting them on the map. I see that Complexity has 13 kills, man. They were kill hungry that game. They were chasing teams. They were shooting at anybody they could shoot at. It was really fun watching them play that last game and seeing them prioritize their placement, but also still try to get the kills at the same time.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have the moment you've been waiting for. OT6 is won by none other than NRG. They pull it through, and they grab the final OT6 in Apex Legends ALGS. Before we head to the Super Regionals, NRG is on top, and Solafide will come in second. TSM in third, with Complexity and Noble White right behind them in fourth and fifth. The story, though, Jayla, the ups and downs, the trials, the adversity, fighting through all of it to finally, at the last chance, grab the victory over North America and head into the next phase of summer on top. What a performance by NRG today.
I am so proud of this team. I remember seeing them back in Poland. Obviously a completely different team composition there, and now we have these new players. They had some difficulties, as I said earlier, getting into the quals, some technical difficulties, but they came out on top. I'm actually amazed at their performance. I'm so happy for them. I'm sure I can only imagine how they're feeling right now.
I mean, I feel like catharsis is the only word that comes to mind, right? Like just a relief, like the tension, the expectation. I mean, not only just in esports in general, how impactful NRG is and the moves that they make, but just in Apex, they're kind of synonymous with some of our most famous content creators in this scene. And the pro play just wasn't there for them. It was just communication. It was passion. It was not the right fit. And finally, it seems like these guys have found something that works. Frex, Nathan, Rocker. I mean, you look at the way that this composition has put itself together, Jayla. Just speak a little bit about these guys and what they do behind the scenes to be even put in a position to take this win here.
I can only imagine being these guys on NRG right now, like living up to Asu, Dizzy, some of the biggest people in the Apex scene. I'm sure they had a lot of people coming out here and just performing as well as they possibly could. I know it's probably a lot of stress. I know I've been in a few smaller tournaments myself, and I crack under pressure. But it's cool to see them like how they hold up, and no matter what they've gone through the past, whether it be the quals, the issues that they had, and the technical issues, they still came out and gave their best, and they came out on top for it.
And we do have the kill leader ready as well. Another surprise, but this is more for the solo fraggers. Let's take a look at that one, because as you can see, it goes to Monsoon, the man, the myth, the legend. His team scoring a very strong number 4 here in the overall standings, but he takes the top spot. Rep's right behind him. And of course, Reptar from Complexity right behind him. And Frex, we talked about Nathan, we talked about Rocker, but Frex really one of the first ones to be introduced here and trying to mesh with that old squad, part of the new regime of NRG, and look at how much it has impacted them. Him coming in fourth with Lou rounding it out. Complexity, no surprise to be on the top of that kill leaderboard though, Jayla.
Yeah, I'm 100% not surprised to see Complexity top 5 on the kill leaders. Just watching them every time you're spectating and watching them chase around teams and make sure they got their kills was just so fun to watch them. So it's cool to see them at the top of the kill leaders.
You know, we've seen Season 5 give us a lot of different changes. We have a new legend introduced in Loba, but we didn't see her today. And in fact, I think today you look at it, and my POV is we've seen a lot of the same work very, very well. And teams playing patiently, teams playing more aggressively, But if anything is kind of the biggest conversation piece for me as far as themes in this season, it's parity. I mean, not only have like weapons gotten better that were kind of, you could never use it. You know, they'll buff a little alternator. So it's not the worst, but you still like your R99. You have more parity around weapons. You have more parity around the teams as they grow and become better players. I mean, what are your thoughts on how we're seeing this NA scene evolve and how many threats there are really looking at having a shot at taking first place here, not only in these OTs, but now in the upcoming Super Regionals?
I think that the buff